Blissful morning, blissful new year, blissful 365 days later. Anyway, this is about to be our very first conversation for this 2025. They said today's date is January 1, or 1 January, as we say here in the Caribbean. 1 January 2025. I hope it's as prosperous for you as it will be for me. I'm claiming it. I am claiming it, y'all. I got my rainwater with squeezed lemon. That's how my whole year gonna be fresh as lemon and healthy as rainwater in the Caribbean. My neighbor's all excited over there. Y'all hear him? Anyway. So I said, let me go have our very, very first conversation for the new year. So anyway, I was down the market yesterday, creating and designing. I got some new stuff that I want to do this year for the business. And I said, let me go ahead and line stuff up now. Love on some people, let a few people love on me and all that good stuff. And a gentleman comes up to my booth. And by the way, my booth number has changed because I've had so many visitors, y'all. So many visitors in the last couple months from the YouTube channel. People said, oh, we on our way to Grenada, da-da-da. And so booth 43 is no longer. I'm booth 51 now. And it won't matter because if you come to 43, 51 is right next to it. So you're still going to see me. That's why I didn't really mention it, but 51. Anyway, so a gentleman comes. I can say a wonderful person in my life. For one, he's a drummer. I met him when I first came around 2016, 17, maybe 18. But nice young man. He was having a baby when I first met him. The mother of his child was carrying his seed, and he was a drummer. We were drumming in the park, and he came up and showed us how it was done. And I ain't never forget him because I love drumming. Anybody know and follow me know that I am a djembe drummer lover. So he came up and he showed us how it was done, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, he came to my booth yesterday. And I told him I would make this my very first topic. I will use no names, of course. And so we got to talking. Initially, he started the conversation. Short man. Initially, he started the conversation. Wait a minute, let me fix my clothes. Okay. There's my landlord. Come on. What you great cut down a tree?
No, but don't you have to go to the bottom.
Okay, so initially he started the conversation and we were talking about the culture, just different cultures, how our cultures are somewhat different. So he started off the conversation and he was talking about how when people here in Grenada see you with somebody, they automatically put you with that person. And I was telling him it was the same thing in South Africa. If somebody's seen you with somebody, you was with that person. And I said, and we was laughing. I said, well, I must be the village hooker. I must be the village hooker because my culture is totally different. And plus, I'm part of a fellowship for the last 27 years, worldwide fellowship that's into saving lives. And when it comes to saving lives, we don't give a crap what you are or who you are. We don't care what your sexual preference is, how you identify yourself, your age, your name, nothing. All we want to know is what you want to do about your problem and how we can help. So we don't discriminate. So you might see men in my presence, and I just started a support group for people recovering from alcohol and drugs, and most of the population is our young men on this island who suffer from alcoholism. So they call me up, they stop by my booth, they come see me. You might see me with 12 men in a day. And I said, well, I must be the village hooker. So we laughed about it. It was the same thing in South Africa, though. I was telling them, when you sing with the opposite sex, they automatically put you with them. So you got to be kind of careful. And me personally, I ain't got time to be. I'm into people. I'm into love and life and whoever you are. And that's just the culture, right? So we laughed about it, but while we were laughing, um, his phone rang a couple times, and I didn't pay it no mind, and then we'd start talking again, and then his phone rang again, and he said, "Yo, I got something to talk to you about, natural." And this is where it all started, right? He said, he let me know that he had three women right here in our little 133 or 38 square miles. And so I let him go on and tell me about his situation. And he said there may even be a fourth one coming on. And the phone rang and it was maybe the fourth one coming on. And so my question to him was, do they know about each other? Do they know? That was my question to him. Do they know about each other? And his answer was no. And I was like, wow, imagine that. Hey, they don't know about each other. So then it went into why I'm an advocate or a believer in polygamy. This is where it went. Polygamy, in my opinion, is decent and in order. Now, I'm not talking about, now I want people to listen carefully. First of all, everybody's not going to agree with this topic, and you don't have to. But I would love, love, love to hear your reasoning. I love a good reasoning session. We don't all have to agree, but definitely reasoning is how we learn. So anyway, polygamy came up, and I was telling them that's why I believe, because we were born kings and queens because God said so. Thank you so much, neighbor. Look,
I don't know if it's sweet,
I hope y'all got good neighbors like I got.
I don't know if it's sweet. Yet.
It looks sweet.
Even though it is sweet.
It looks sweet. These are tangerines.
Mandarin.
Mandarin, yes. Let me see. It's sweet.
Feel it.
Oh my gosh, it's sweet. It's sweet. One is falling.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so wait a minute. So we were born kings and queens because God said so. We're the only set of people. Chinese people wasn't born kings and queens. Italian people, Africans, black people, kings and queens.
Are you doing alive?
Yes, I am doing alive. And kings and queens, kings are entitled to more than one wife. But because we are in this westernized world,
I'm telling you, I want more than one wife.
We're stolen. So once they stole us and spread us all around, they dropped y'all off in the Caribbean right here. They dropped us off in America. At that point, they stole our tradition and our culture. Anytime somebody steals your culture and tradition, you're done. You don't have any idea who you are. You start believing and moving just like they tell you to move. So all that thing called cheating is a white man's word, okay? That has nothing to do with us. Polygamy is decent and in order, and I ain't talking about no threesome, menage a trois. I mean, if that's what you into, that's fine. But anybody can have a threesome, menage a trois. I'm talking about polygamy. Kings are entitled to more than. Why do you think they struggle so much? Why do you think he's struggling? He's not allowing himself to live, and apparently we're not allowing him to live either with all that. And I guarantee you, if I talk to these 4 women, they'll say, I don't believe in that. I would never live like that. But you are living like that. You're not allowing him to live, to be honest with you. And you ain't allowing yourself to live, to understand your culture. Go back. That's what Sankofa means. Go back and get anything they ever took from you. That means go back and find out the truth about who you are. It's in his DNA to have more than one wife. I tried to have this conversation the other day with my friend. And he didn't want to talk about it. See, it's easier to not talk about it, but you living like that, you young. If you dealing with me, somebody who can't give you children because she's past childbearing stage, and you don't have no children yet, and we sitting here talking about you want children, that means you're going to have to deal with somebody else. I'm not no secret, so you can't keep me a secret. So you're going to have to be honest and allow us to know who each other are. That way, when you're over here Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you're over there Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm just saying the reality of it. And check this out. Now, I might be jumping all over the place, ask questions, state your opinion, do what you want to do. Statistic-wise, wow, this is sweet to just have come out my yard off the tree. That's what I'm talking about. Statistic-wise, there are more women than men. You know, we've had a shortage of men for decades. Statistics, people study these numbers. I study these numbers. To every man, there's 7 women. It used to be between 5 and 7. But I believe at this current state right now, correct me if I'm wrong, do your homework, there's 7 women to every man. What that means one thing. Somebody gonna have to share. This is the reality of it. Somebody gonna have to share. Just like them 4 women, and neither one of them, he said one of them keep asking him, why every time I call you, you don't pick up the phone? He said she's the younger one. He said the other 3 are older, so they don't really heckle him as much. So all I'm saying is polygamy is decent in order. You know, when I went home to America, was it last year or year before last? Year before last. My nephew said, Auntie, I would like for you to meet my 2 queens. I said, 2? And he brought them to me, and they were absolutely beautiful. One was brown and beautiful and had been raised kind of like through an Islamic setting family. The other one was more like I think Dominican Republic. She had some like some Spanish in her or something. Kind of feisty and, you know. But guess what he said to me? He said, Auntie, I'm so glad I ain't got to cheat no more. My question is, when is the black man going to wake up? Because he sets the stage for this. See, nobody else has this privilege. And I know we've been stolen and brainwashed for a long, long time now, and we don't know how to go back and make up our mind. Come on. When is the black man going to wake up? I'm going to tell you a story, and then I'm done with it. But we're going to have some more of these conversations, because this reasoning, these are big people conversations. These are ones that people don't want to talk about. Even I just told you the young man didn't want to talk about it. He was living that way and didn't want to talk about it. Because somebody along the line has made them think that is wrong. I'm going to tell you this beautiful, beautiful story. You ever had something happen to you? Or you ever experienced something years ago, and it left such an impact on you that you never, ever forgot it? Well, here's mine. I was in Antigua and Barbuda, and I was a grade 6 school teacher, and I had a African drum dance school after school program. And we were pretty good. And they invited us to perform at a African Liberation Day or something. And when we got there, these 2 beautiful sisters said, Teacher, could you bring the children? Let us feed the children first, get them out the way, and then we can carry on, right? No problem. So I come over there with all the children. Of course, everything was ITIL and vegan, and it was just a beautiful experience, not just for me, but for the children, because I like to turn children on to healthy, beautiful experiences too. It's about learning. And these 2 sisters serving the food were absolutely stunning. They looked like almost like twins. They were wrapped up and guarded up and just beautiful. And so I said, y'all are really beautiful. I said, are y'all sisters? They said no. One sister said no. She said, this is my sister wife, my co-wife. Now, I had never heard up until that point, this was 2006, I had never heard the term used so eloquently. And that's my truth. So I stood back and started paying attention. All of a sudden, this beautiful man came over. I'm talking beautiful, tall, gorgeous, long, pure, white, silver beard, head wrap, gorgeous. He put his arms around both of them and said, Queens, he said, do y'all, Empress, I think he said, do y'all need any assistance over here? And the one sister looked at me again. She said, sis, this is our king man. Our king man. These sisters was moving like sisters and not enemies. And that's the way it's supposed to be. It is a shortage. Do you think those numbers are going to go away? Every man in the Bible had another woman. Every single one. And you can rip around it and tell me it was King James Version. It was the first version. You can tell me all that. We talking about what was there. What is there. For a reason. Because it needs you to understand about who you are. It won't go away. Them 4 young ladies might as well go here and sit down and have dinner and talk about how they're going to serve this king man. If he's worthy, because he should be worthy in the sense of mentally, physically, financially, and emotionally. And everybody should be bringing to the table. So that was the one story I just wanted to share with you. I never forgot it. It was such a beautiful sight and feeling. I'm talking about a sight for sore eyes. It was so beautiful to see, and it was unreal, and I was in another country, and it was all I had ever seen at that point was movies. Well, it's 2024. We talking about years in now, and it was beautiful. Mosquitoes I think they them sandflies trying to mess with me. Beautiful. So all I'm saying is, my nephew said, Auntie, I'm so glad I ain't got to cheat no more. Thank you, nephew. You woke. You woke. Half of us still sleep. I ain't saying you got to agree with me. But if it's a shortage and the numbers are real, polygamy came out of so no woman, no sister would ever be left behind. Because it's a shortage. Somebody got to share. All right, let's talk about the numbers then. It's not a trick. It's not a joke. You research. If it's 7 men, every woman, and we all in the same world, what you think gonna happen? And for the beautiful ones that are gonna say, well, my man would never do that. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. Okay, you welcome to. You welcome to. But listen, this is our first conversation of 2025. And there's so much more to come. Please like, subscribe, and share. Love and respect. And y'all just get ready. It should be prosperous for all of us. Love y'all.